What's up everybody, my name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon in the crypto universe. Today is Monday, December 30th. In today's video, as I mentioned last week, we're going to be reviewing the top Bitcoin ordinal collections that are going to explode in 2025. I'm briefly going to go real fast and share with you how many amazing projects are completely undervalued and underpriced right now. Now, we're going to start off the video by talking about the most expensive ones. And then at the very end of the video, you're going to see the most least expensive. So basically, I'm going to show you a different range and you can understand which one you may want to get exposure in, because I believe in 2025, Bitcoin ordinals are going to flip Ethereum NFTs. And I'll share with you a charting and analysis of what that looks like and why Bitcoin ordinals are about to tap into Bitcoin's $2 trillion market cap. So with that said, let's go ahead and smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join our Patreon page. And most importantly, please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I will never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct message, or email. So please be careful and invest safely. So guys and girls, let's get right into it. So there are a ton of ordinal projects that we are going to review. So let's get right into it. Let's start off by talking about how ordinals are competing against Ethereum NFTs. Now, Ethereum NFTs are the most dominant in terms of market cap. As you can see here, they are dominating the top 12 spots in terms of market cap. But check this out. You're not seeing many Solana projects, right? But you are starting to see a lot more Bitcoin ordinal projects such as Bitcoin Puppets, NodeMonkes, QuantumCats, OrdinalMaxiBiz, and Runestone ordinals. So let's talk about their impact. Let's talk about the value of how big Bitcoin ordinals can be. So right now, Bitcoin ordinals total market cap within the top 10 projects is around $588 million. That's it. But when you focus on the top 10 Ethereum NFT projects, total $4.3 billion together. So as you can see, there's not much liquidity into the Bitcoin ordinals. But if you look at the market cap, Bitcoin has a bigger market cap, around $1.8 to $2 trillion, while the market cap of Ethereum is $402 billion. So you can see there's a lot more growth for Bitcoin ordinals just given those numbers. Now, just recently, Decrypt Media made an article talking about the year in NFTs. More specifically, they highlighted the Bitcoin Ordinals Boom, how it's grown substantially within the past 2 years compared to Ethereum, which took around 4 years to grow. We're seeing Bitcoin ordinals and runes grow substantially much quicker. And I think it's because we've seen the framework and the infrastructure with Ethereum and their NFTs and their customer base acquisition that you're seeing more experienced people, especially Bitcoiners, hop into ordinals. So let's talk about the very first project, and that is QuantumCats. This is the most expensive project that we're going to talk about today, because right now it's roughly around $28,000 to $30,000 per ordinal, which is kind of crazy, but hear me out. Now, if you focus on the floor price, recently we've actually seen a huge pump from around 0.18 Bitcoin to now 0.31 Bitcoin, and it jumped as high as 0.36 Bitcoin, mainly due to this. So one of these AI agents, which runs a Twitter account, changed its PFP, or its picture for profile or profile for picture, to a QuantumCat. If you don't know, it has one of the top mind shares across the top AI agents across all blockchains. So that's pretty crazy that this leading base AI unit decides it's going to change its PFP, acquire that specific ordinal for $30,000 and just rock it. So another thing about QuantumCats is its team. And its team, which is also involved with Taproot Wizards, is going to bring OpCat back. So what is OpCat? OpCat is something that Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin, decided not to use because it would pretty much sacrifice the security and decentralization of Bitcoin. But developers such as this team with QuantumCats and Taproot Wizards is deciding to bring it back. And what will that do? It's going to form powerful scripts, brilliant smart contracts, and steady bridges across chains. So this is why this collection is doing quite well. So just to briefly mention, I think QuantumCats will hit a 1 Bitcoin floor price due to its limited supply, which is 3.3 thousand, its unique owners in ratio, which is 2.3 thousand, only 218 of these ordinals listed. So I definitely think this has a supply and demand shock happening pretty soon that will shoot to 1 Bitcoin. Next up, we're going to talk about OMB, aka OrdinalMaxiBiz. Now, this floor price was roughly around 0.14 Bitcoin, has now jumped up to 0.19 to 0.19 1.20 Bitcoin. So it's roughly around 19 to 20,000 US dollars. Remember, the second most expensive ordinal collection, but there's a reason for it. Now, the unique ratio and the unique supply is pretty much spot on. 5.2 in terms of the supply of these, because we have many different characteristics. We have orange eyes, red eyes, blue eyes, green eyes. Because of those attributes, because of this limited supply of these specific eyes, I definitely think this will hit a 1 Bitcoin floor price as well. In fact, it's already hit a 1 Bitcoin floor price. If you look at its overall charting, it actually hit 1.5 Bitcoin floor price. The reason we saw this dip is because all these people wanted to buy the blue, red, and green in order to get allocation for the orange eyes, which is the largest supply. So that's why you saw that massive drop right afterwards. But I definitely think it's going to go right back up there very soon. It's going to happen really quickly because there's not much in circulation. Now, let's talk about that supply, because there is no fake incentives, there is no promise or utility. It's just a PFP collection. So the fact that this collection is just based on that alone just goes to show you how much that this community and this PFP collection is going to hit that 1 Bitcoin floor price just based on the sole artwork and just based on the community itself. So that's why I think it has the very great promise, even though it's quite expensive, to get to the 1 Bitcoin floor price. Now let's talk about the next collection, which is Bitcoin Puppets. Now this is a little bit cheaper, roughly around $12,000 to $13,000, aka 0.13 Bitcoin. Now this collection got us close to around 0.5 Bitcoin, so that's roughly around $50,000, give or take, depending on what Bitcoin's price at the time was. But to me, this unique ratio, which is 6.7 thousand unique holders to a 10K supply, so this is a bigger supply, but the amount of unique owners ratio to the supply, I think, is very healthy. You don't want to see something that has like 2,000 holders and then a 10K supply. That means there's a lot of whales and manipulation happening there. This has a great community. I've seen massive influencers change their PFP to this specific design. There is no official like Bitcoin Puppets Twitter page. It's just basically the artist himself who created this. But to me, they're all about world peace. You'll see this all the time. Bitcoin Puppets for world peace. And the fact that that's their narrative is quite interesting. So I think if you want to find a more affordable route, go for a Bitcoin Puppet if you can. And not only that, did you know that this is actually the #1 ordinal collection by market cap? Yes, it's the #1 ordinal collection, which is kind of crazy. And then next in line, believe it or not, is NodeMonkes, the second largest market cap in the ordinals collection, which we're going to talk about. So this is a little bit around the same price point, around the $13,000 range, aka 0.13 Bitcoin. Now, the reason this collection could do really well is based on its inscription, which is roughly around 83,000 to around 111,000. So this is pretty much sub 1 million inscriptions. And why are inscriptions really important? It's all about provenance. So basically, NodeMonkes is declared the first 10K original ordinal PFP collection on Bitcoin. So if you're seeing all these other things like Bitcoin Punks being the first 10K, well, that's a derivative of an Ethereum project. This is supposed to be what they say the crypto punks of Bitcoin ordinals, basically. So it's the first in their eyes. The amount of unique owners is around 5.5 thousand. The total supply is around 10K. So it's about, a half and half unique ratio. I think that's pretty fair. But what I will say is that this collection is quite controversial, and it's mainly due to the minting process. So this was supposed to be like a free mint, and that ended up turning into an auction, a Dutch auction. And then all of a sudden we find out that the so-called two founders who pretty much created this collection, we don't know if it's two founders or if it's one founder playing two people, but these two founders ended up having a circulating supply for themselves. So check this out. The top two wallets have around 500 NodeMonkes each, which haven't been liquidated, but nonetheless, that's around maybe, I think, 10% around the supply of this collection, which is kind of a lot. So a lot of people are like, wait a minute, what's going on? Dutch auction, these founders have more than 10% of the supply. I don't know if I trust this, but regardless of what you think, people still buy this and they're in it for the inscription and provenance. And if this is the crypto punks of the collection, they don't care about those other things. They just want to make money. And you've seen how CryptoPunks has become the #1 collection on Ethereum. So this is going to follow the same suit. Around 0.13 Bitcoin, aka $13,000 at the time of this recording, is not a bad deal. If you're going to hit into the hundreds of thousands or multi-millions of dollars, just depends, right? But there is no promise of the future. So let's get into the next collection because we have a lot to cover. Pizza Ninjas is the next collection. Now, Pizza Ninjas is a great team, has a great founder, great community. Now, what I love about this is its low supply. Only 1.5 thousand. Look at the unique owners. 1.2 thousand. Only 92 listed. So this right now can experience a supply shock really fast and actually could hit 1 Bitcoin faster than these other collections. It wouldn't take that much Bitcoin to sweep this and then become a 1 Bitcoin floor price. That's just personally for me. They have a game called Pizza Pets, which I'm not going to cover in this specific channel, but I have this specific PFP for my own channels, YouTube, Twitter. It's my official PFP, and I love the collection. I love the artwork. They've won awards for their artwork, but I just want to fade in this collection as well. But if you're looking for a more affordable route, because maybe 0.11 Bitcoin, which is around $11,000, isn't tickling your fancy, well, guess what? I have a more affordable collection for you, and this is the most affordable I think that you can get out there in terms of PFP ordinals. And that is called Based Angels. Now, Based Angels is a derivative. Let me just repeat that. It's a derivative. So right now, the floor price of this collection is around 0.019 Bitcoin. So that's roughly around less than 2,000 US dollars. The total supply, 5.6 thousand. My unique owners, roughly close to around 3,000. Only 577 of these on the floor. Now, I definitely think that this can actually be your best entry. The community's there. I've seen a lot of people buy these. I have one of myself. And I definitely think that this is something you definitely have to have exposure regardless, because this floor price is so cheap. This used to be around a $500 floor price, now has jumped almost $2,000, so that's many X-fold. Now, why is this collection, do you think, could do really well? Could it hit a 0.5 Bitcoin floor price, which is roughly around $50,000 at the time of this recording? Well, I definitely think it could get there. Why is that? It's mainly due to this. So this is the market cap of all the derivatives, which all started with Lady Maker. This was the very first collection on Ethereum. And that right now has 140 million market cap. And then there was another collection on Ethereum that was derivative of that called Redacted Remilio. Now that has a $32 million market cap. Then you have a Solana project that was a derivative of the same projects called Retardio Cousins, has around 11 million market cap. Now look at Based Angels, a Bitcoin project that just launched this year, already has a $10 million market cap. It even reached the 3rd ranking, which is actually quite interesting, just of last month. Based Angels is on Bitcoin. So right now, Ethereum is built on a $400 billion market cap, which is Ethereum. Right now, we have Based Angels built on Bitcoin, which has almost close to $2 trillion market cap. So this has more upside than these already, because these are already priced in. This hasn't been priced in. This is why I think this collection could actually flip. Not it's guaranteed to flip Solana, but I definitely think it has the possibility of flipping Lady Maker in market cap, meaning this 10 million could go as high and above 140 million really quickly. So that's my case scenario. That's why I think you should definitely have exposure to this. I can't control what the price or the future is going to be of this specific collection or any of these collections, but I just want to share with you my personal opinion, because it's not financial advice. You just need to do your own research. So just a quick shout out and honorable mention for a more affordable Bitcoin ordinal. Well, that's going to be Runestone ordinals. Now, Runestones are roughly around $500 at the time of this recording, which is roughly around 0.005 Bitcoin. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, there's a potential rumor out there that there's going to be 2 more airdrops. That's confirmed because the first airdrop was Dog of the Moon, aka the Dog Bitcoin token, which we talk about on our channel quite a bit. So right now, the floor price has dropped significantly. Now, once this next airdrop is going to be announced, you're going to see this fetch for over $3,000, maybe even $5,000. When Dog of the Moon was announced as the first airdrop, we saw this reach as around 7,000 US dollars. I don't remember what the Bitcoin price was at that time. So right now you're seeing it at a very low price, but we don't know when that airdrop is going to be. So that's not guaranteed to happen anytime soon. But nonetheless, if you are willing to buy this and wait for a long duration of time, whenever that may be, that could be your best benefit for a good ROI, aka return on investment. But I just don't know that time frame. So this is why this is more of an honorable mention rather than something that I think you should have some exposure to, if that makes any sense. So why am I bringing this all up? Let's go and zoom out and look at the overall ecosystem, right? So remember, I talked about Ethereum. Ethereum has a $400 billion market cap just within Ethereum. Then when you look at the market caps of their top 5 collections, such as CryptoPunks, Pudgy Penguins, Bored Ape Yacht Club, Azuki, and Doodles, roughly they are doing pretty well. CryptoPunks has 1.3 billion, Pudgy Penguin 684 million, Bored Ape Yacht Club 563 million, Azuki 431 million, and Doodles 196 million. But then when you look over to the Bitcoin Ordinal side, Bitcoin has an almost $1.8 to $2 trillion market cap. But when you look at the Ordinal collection, check this out. The number one collection, Bitcoin Puppets, 139 million, NodeMonkes 128 million, QuantumCats 112 million, OrdinalMaxiBiz 97 million, Runestones Ordinals 57 million. So you can see right now you are very early, and why you have to have exposure to this ecosystem, because it has the backing of Bitcoin. So just imagine if just 1 or even 5% of this market cap were to go into Ordinals, all these collections I just mentioned will melt faces. It will dominate all the Ethereum NFT projects and blue chips, and no one will be talking about Ethereum anymore or their NFTs. In fact, the best thing about these is that all these ordinals are on chain. These are not. These are basically images that are on a URL. So if that website goes down, these images are lost. Great thing about ordinals is that they're inscribed on Bitcoin blocks. So they're forever inscribed on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is forever going to exist. So this is why this is quite amazing. So as a conclusion and statement, I mentioned this last Friday, why people should be buying into these ordinals, and we got in at great deals. But if you want to get all the alpha regarding our trades, you need to join our Patreon page and get all the updates regarding these amazing opportunities, because we bought into all these before we saw the massive pump. So with that said, let me know your thoughts down below. What are your favorite collections, and what collections have we not included that you want to see in the next video? Well, we cannot wait to read those comments. And until then, please smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join our Patreon page and our X platform to receive all of our alpha calls and trades regarding the best Bitcoin Ordinal projects for 2025. Until then, see you guys, girls, next time.